These are my tie-up crochet baby booties, and they're a very simple pattern. I use this pattern for to make booties for gifts and charity donations, and they have a tie on the front here, and to tie them up we're just making little loops on each side here. And if you like, you can place a button on the front just to snazz it up a little bit. Now the yarn I used for this pair of booties was Panda Magnum Glimmer 8-ply, and this was purchased from Lincraft Australia, and you can find the link below to purchase online. Now today I'm going to be using a different yarn to demonstrate, because this yarn is very dark to see on a video, which will make it very hard for you to follow me. So today I'll use the Panda Magnum Soft 8-ply, just in a colour that you can see a bit better. Now, if you want to put buttons on these booties, you'll need 2 buttons. And for sizes, if you're wanting an 8cm sole, which is a newborn to 3-month-old, you'll use a 3mm hook. If you're wanting a 9cm sole, which is for a 3-month to a 6-month-old, you'll use a 4mm crochet hook. For a 10cm sole, which is a 6-month to a 9-month-old, you'll use a 5mm hook. And if you're wanting an 11cm sole, which is a 9-month to 12-month-old, you'll use a 5.5mm hook. So the pattern stays the same for each size. You'll simply just use whatever hook for whatever size you're wanting. But to demonstrate today, I'll be using the 4mm hook for the 9cm sole, which is the 3-month to 6-month-old. Now you'll also need your craft scissors, a yarn needle and a stitch marker. If you can't get either of these yarns, then any soft 8-ply, DK or medium worsted weight yarn is fine. So to get started, we've got our slip knot here, and you can make a slip knot like that. And then we're going to chain 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so we've got our 10 chain stitches to start. Now we'll be working a single crochet into the second chain from the hook. So 1, 2, 1 single crochet into the second chain from the hook, and then we'll do a single crochet in each of the next 7 stitches. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. In the last chain stitch, we'll be doing 5 single crochet into that last chain stitch, and just hold your tail over the back like that. Insert your hook and have the tail over the hook. and do your first single crochet over that tail. And then you can just leave the tail back there. And we'll do 4 more single crochet. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, and see that spun around to the other side, which will work into the unused loops along here now. We'll also be working over the tail again, so pull it up and into this stitch or this unused loop here. We'll be working a single crochet. We'll be working single crochet into each unused loop along this side. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and now we've got 1 more unused loop left here on the end, and we're going to do 2 single crochet stitches into that last unused loop. Here's 1 and 2. And as you can see, we've crocheted that tail in now. You can actually snip that off, get rid of it, because it's in the work and we don't have to weave it in with a yarn needle. And now we'll join that round into this first single crochet stitch here. With a slip stitch, and there's our first round of the bootie. For the second round we'll chain 2, 1, 2, and you can place your marker into that second chain stitch, because that's where we want to join when we come back around towards the end of the round here. Now we'll do a half double crochet in the same space as that chain 2, which is right there. Now we'll do a half double crochet in the next 7 stitches. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now we'll do 2 half double crochet stitches into each of the next 5 stitches to form the toe. So into the next stitch, do 2 half double crochet, so there's 1, 2, into the next one we'll do 2 half double crochet, there's 1 and 2, into the next half double crochet, 2 half double crochet stitches, so there's 1 and 2, into the next stitch, 2 half double crochet, there's 1 and 2, into the next stitch, 2 half double crochet, 1 2, so we should have 5 sets of 2, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Alright, now to continue this round we'll do a half double crochet into the next 7 stitches. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So now we've got 2 stitches left here, and into both of those we'll do 2 half double crochet. There's the first one and the second one into that stitch, and doing the same for the next stitch. 1 half double crochet, 2 half double crochet, and now we'll join with a slip stitch into the top of the chain 2 where we've got our marker. So take the marker out and make a slip stitch, and that's round 2 completed. For round 3 we'll chain 2, 1, 2, and place your marker in that second chain stitch you've just made, and we'll do a half double crochet in the same space as that chain 2. And if you pull up the chain 2, you can generally see right in there. That's where you want to go. Right in there. So a half double crochet. And now we'll do a half double crochet into the next 12 stitches along. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Into the next 3 stitches we'll do 2 half double crochet in each. So in the next one, there's the first half double crochet, and into the same stitch, second half double crochet. Into the next stitch, first half double crochet and a second half double crochet. Into the next stitch, a first half double crochet and a second half double crochet. Now we'll do 1 half double crochet in each of the next 12 stitches long. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And now we'll do 2 half double crochet in each of the last 2 stitches. So in this next stitch we'll do our first half double crochet and our second half double crochet into that same stitch, and the same for the next stitch along. There's our first half double crochet and a second one into the same stitch, and I'll just do that one again, didn't like that. So that was 2 half double crochet into that stitch, and then we join with a slip stitch into the top of this chain 2 where we had our marker. And that completes this round. So that's the end of round 3, and that's the sole completed. So now we'll work on the sides. For round 4 we'll be working in the back loops for this entire round. And to get started on round 4, we'll chain 1, and then we're going to make a single crochet stitch into the back loop of this same stitch here as the chain 1 is in. So just the back loop. There's the front loop, just into the back loop. And we're going to place our marker into that first single crochet stitch. Now we'll do 1 single crochet into each stitch around, working into the back loops. So just the back loop. And that's going to give the bootie that ridged bottom look there, and it divides the sole from the sides, as you can see there. That's what we're working on right now. So a single crochet into each stitch around, working into back loops only. So continue right around, making your single crochet into each stitch, working into the back loops, and I'll see you here. So I'm at the end of round 4 with 36 stitches, and this is where I've made my last stitch. Now we'll join into the first one here, where we have our stitch marker, and make our slip stitch. And that completes round 4, and you can see that it's divided the sole now, and that's the side, starting the side. Okay, so for round 5, we're still working on the side, and we're going to chain 1, and we'll do 1 single crochet into the same space as the chain 1, and then we'll chain 1 again and place our marker in the top of that chain 1, and this counts as 1 double crochet stitch. So now we'll be doing 1 double crochet into each stitch around. So continue like that right the way around, just making 1 double crochet stitch into each stitch around, and I'll see you at the end. I'm at the end of round 5, and I've made my last stitch here, and now we're going to join into the chain 1 where we've got our stitch marker by making a slip stitch. And that's the end of round 5. And at this point the bootie will look a little bit like a boat. And Now we're going to be working on the top of the toe and the ankle part of the bootie. So this part here and this part here. So for round 6, we'll chain 1 and we'll be working a single crochet into the same stitch that the chain 1 is sitting on there. And then we're just going to place our marker into that single crochet stitch we just made. Now we'll do 1 single crochet into each of the next 11 stitches. There's 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. 11. Now we're going to do a half double crochet 2 together. And now we'll do another half double crochet 2 together. So it's yarn over the hook, insert it into the next stitch, yarn over the hook, draw it through that stitch, yarn over the hook, insert it into the next stitch, yarn over hook, draw it through that stitch. You've got 5 loops on the hook, yarn over hook, draw it through all 5 loops, and that's a half double crochet 2 together. So we've done 2 of those, and now we're going to do a double crochet 2 together. So yarn over hook, insert it into the next stitch, yarn over hook, draw it through that stitch, yarn over the hook, draw it through 2 loops on the hook, yarn over hook, insert it into the next stitch, yarn over hook, draw it through, yarn over hook, pull it through 2 loops on the hook, yarn over hook, draw it through all 3 loops, and that's a double crochet 2 together. And we're going to do another one of those. So double crochet 2 together again. There we have our 2 double crochet 2 togethers. Now over the next 2 stitches we'll do a half double crochet 2 together, so there's 1 half double crochet 2 together, and then we're going to do another one over these next 2 stitches. There you go, half double crochet 2 together. So now that we've completed the toe part there, you can see it's starting to form. It's pulled it in, it's making the toe area there. So to complete this round, we're going to do a single crochet into the next 12 stitches. Now because we're coming down from a higher stitch here, we're going to make a bit of a tight single crochet stitch here. So that we don't have a big hole coming down from the stitch. So just make that one a little bit tight. So there's 1. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And now we'll join into that first single crochet stitch where we've got our marker by making a slip stitch. And just pull that into shape, and this is what it's looking like so far. Okay, so for round 7 we'll chain 1 and we'll do a single crochet into the same space as the chain 1. And placing our marker into that single crochet stitch we just made. And now we're going to do a single crochet into the next 11 stitches. So into each next 11 stitches. So there's 1. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 single crochet. Now we're going to do a half double crochet 2 together over the next 2 stitches. there's 1/2 double crochet 2 together. Over the next 2 stitches we'll do a double crochet 2 together. There's a double crochet 2 together. Over the next 2 stitches we'll do a 1/2 double crochet 2 together. Okay, and that's just completing the toe area, the top of the toe area there. And for the rest of this round we'll do 1 single crochet into each of the next 12 stitches. Now for this first one we're coming down from this higher stitch, so just make it a little tighter than normal. So there's 1 single crochet, single crochet into the next, so that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 single crochet, and we'll join into this first stitch here by making a slip stitch. And that's what your bootie should look like now. Now we'll be working on round 8, and we'll chain 1 and do a single crochet into the same space as the chain 1 there. And just place your marker into that first single crochet stitch we just made. And now we'll do 1 single crochet into each of the next 7 stitches. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And now we're going to make the little loop here. And to do that, we'll chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to do a single crochet into each of the next 11 stitches. So bring this down into the next stitch, do a single crochet, there's the loop, So we've done one single crochet, there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 single crochet, and now we'll make the other loop. So chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and now we'll do a single crochet into each of the next 8 stitches. So into this next stitch here, single crochet, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and we'll join into the first stitch with a slip stitch. So that's the last round, and that's the end of the bootie. Now we'll cut the yarn, leaving enough to weave in with the yarn needle. So finish off, and getting your yarn needle, we're going to weave this end in. So once you've got your yarn tail weaved through, threaded through your yarn needle, to weave this end in, see where the knot is there? I'm going to take the needle down through that stitch there, down the middle of that stitch. And I like to try and pull that knot down, because you don't want it bobbling up and sitting up and staring everyone in the face, so you try and pull it down, and then you can just weave on down there. You can keep going down that way, or you can run along the row of stitches there, just as long as you hide it, then it's all good. Then if you skip that loop there, just run it back along. Just make sure you don't pop out the other side here, because you don't want a big yarn tail sort of hanging out of your stitches on the outside of the bootie. It's not a good look. And you can cut that off. And if you want, you can place buttons on. I can show you how to sew them on in a minute. But firstly, what we'll do is we'll make this tie now, so that you can put it into your loops of the bootie. So getting the same yarn as your bootie, and you don't really need to leave much of a tail there because you're going to have short ends like that on the end of the tie. Getting your same size hook as what you used for the bootie. You're just going to chain 70, so make 70 chain stitches. So continue on this way until you have 70 chain stitches, and I'll see you at the end of you making this tie. Okay, so I've got my 70 chain stitches for my tie, and now I'll just finish off and just pull that tight there. Make sure the other end is tight too. And then what I do is I just find both ends there, and then to get even I just pop my thumb there and cut those ends, and then they're even. Then you get your bootie, and pop the tie in. You can place it on the baby's foot and make a bow, or just tie it up. And there you've got your baby bootie. You tie up baby bootie. Now I'll show you how to place the button on. Just using a yarn needle, and get your button and some same yarn that you've used for your bootie. Just cut about 20 centimeters or 30 centimeters, and thread that yarn through your needle. And it never wants to thread through when I've got the camera on. It'll thread through fine if I don't have the camera on. I can't believe it every time. Oh, I might have it. There we go. Okay. So you place your button where you want it on the bootie. You can have it on the side. It can look cute there, either side. I'm just going to place mine in the middle. And I'm lining it up so that the top of the button sits just below those stitches there. And then I just pop my needle through the back and try and find one of the holes through the button, and I just pull that up. Just leave the tail hanging out like that, and then put your needle through the other side of the button. And you can keep coming back and through, but because I'm using this yarn, I just want it once through. Just gives it a neater look. And then I just tie it at the back. You can turn the bootie inside out there and tie a knot. Tie a knot, and then with your yarn needle for both of these ends you can just weave it through. And just finish it off that way. so you can keep weaving on through there. But basically that's all there is to making this bootie, and you can do all different colours. As you can see, each bootie always looks different when you make it in a different colour with a different button, and it just looks like a completely different bootie even though it's the same design. So I hope you've had fun with it, and thanks for watching.